It is important to get the basics of meditation under control so that you can focus on the technique itself. So first of all, let's talk about position. Now you can sit or lie as a beginner. Some people like the lotus position, which you may have seen on TV or videos. It's important to have a straight spine, and it's important not to encourage sleep. So lying down can both encourage sleep and can be harder to have a straight spine if you have two pillows or a large pillow. Having said that, lying down is more than fine for meditation. I have a personal preference for sitting, and it is vitally important to keep the spine straight, and you'll notice this more as you become an experienced meditator, especially if you start to use energy techniques. Now make sure if you're sitting that you are comfortable. If you're short, you may need something under your legs. You don't want the weight of your legs dragging you down. You may have an armchair or something quite soft, but not something that encourages you to sleep because it's so relaxing. So do take care and set yourself up nicely. It is also important to make sure that you don't feel like you may be intruded upon by a family member, maybe even the phone. So take care with these matters so you can fully relax and in a way feel that it's your space and your time. And on that point, many people do prefer to meditate in the same space, and it is generally a good idea. Now these meditations will have music as well as voiceover guided imagery that I provide. However, if you meditate with your own music at other times, the important thing is not to have music that changes in volume or any changes that can draw you out of your meditation. You need a fairly even, flowing sort of music. Guided imagery is very helpful, especially to focus your own mind and thoughts, to stop these intrusive ways the mind can wander and worry and stress. So it can be much harder on your own without voiceover guided imagery, because it is a great way to focus off a busy mind. So having said that, that is the biggest enemy of meditation, is a restless mind or a body that feels restless or anxious. If you find you have difficulty sitting still, you get restless, and I'm talking about your body here, not distracting thoughts, you may need to stretch first, you may need to go for a walk first. It depends if this is a particular problem for you. And if it is a big problem, it can destroy your meditations and you finally, give up. So that would be a shame. So if that is a real big problem for you, you may need to take a preliminary step of stretching or exercising or something to get the tension out of your muscles. However, the biggest difficulty is intrusive thoughts. That is the bane of meditation, and it is one of the aims of meditation as discussed in my previous video on what is meditation. You're aiming for stillness, or in this case, a single focus, and the intrusive thoughts need to be dealt with appropriately. The thoughts will increase if you give them attention and if you give them energy. And by energy, I mean you react to them emotionally. You can't get frustrated by them. You can't react in any way emotionally, because you'll just produce more thoughts and take yourself way out of the meditation. If you start to follow the thoughts and catch yourself thinking, don't judge yourself, don't put yourself down. Just refocus yourself onto the voiceover or the music or your breathing, whatever works for you to get you back. You cannot get frustrated or focus on the thought or even notice that you're being distracted. So some techniques to use are simply to let the thought dissolve. So you may even see a word in your thought and see it dissolve and disappear. For some people, it's like floating across from the left side of your vision to the right and just disappearing away. It's ways of acknowledging the thoughts there, but not actually giving it attention, just letting it dissolve or pass by. This is something that is the biggest skill to master as a beginner, and it can take time, but once you master that, it is going to open you up to a much greater capacity for meditation and the benefits that come with it. So these are the challenges you can find with meditation. If you are really struggling, it is a lot easier in a group. So if you really want to meditate and cannot find these techniques working for you, the best solution is to find a group. The energies of it make meditation so much easier. And then you can, when you gain that skill, come home and do that. So the last point is practice. A lot of people recommend meditation same day, same time, so many times a week. That's never worked for me. If it works for you, go for it. A lot of people that doesn't work for, so I'm giving you permission to meditate when you feel like it. That could be 3 times a day, or it could be once a week. There are times I've meditated frequently, and there are times I've meditated for months on end, and other times I haven't done it for months on end because other areas of my life needed attention. So this is part of being guided by your own self. How often you meditate, you will need to do it regularly to at least obtain the skill. So can't be infrequent, at least 3 times a week, and 15, 10, 20 minutes is fine for a beginner. It can feel quite long. If you meditate for longer, you may find that there are some times when you actually space out, when you realized you've missed part of the voiceover guidance. My explanation for that is simply that you have gone to a deeper place in your consciousness, but you don't have the ability yet to follow your consciousness to these deeper places. That does increase with time. So enjoy the meditations. I encourage you to practice, not give up unless there's real difficulty. And if there is real difficulty, that is telling you something. Your capacity to still your mind and still your emotions does reflect your own self-awareness, your own self-mastery, and will reflect your capacity to handle stress in a day-to-day basis, as well as let go of emotions in your relationships. So if you have great difficulty, then you may need to look at my videos on cognitive behavioral therapy to look at your thinking, to look at diaphragm relaxation to help ease the tension in the body. So good luck and happy meditating.